Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be opening 2024 Matchbox MBX Japan Cruisers. This is code HTV66. For 2024 there are 16 5-packs. This is 5-pack number 4. We're opening up each one of the 5-packs over the coming weeks. The links are in the description below for the previous 3 5-packs. Let's go ahead and get started opening this up. Now, there are no re-releases in this case. All right, so we're going to start at the bottom of the pack. I'm going to save this car for last because there's something special about it that I want to tell you about. So this is a 1985 Toyota 4Runner. This color is called caramel or caramel, I guess depending on where you're from. This was originally produced from 2010 until 2016, but then in 2016 the license from Toyota expired. It came back in 2020 and then they retooled it in 2022. The retool, I think it lost some of its detail here on the grille. I think the grille could just be done a little bit better. But other than that, I really like this casting and I definitely like this color. And if you look here on the side, it says Matchbox, but on the opposite side, it says Matchbox in Japanese. So anyway, I like this. I think it's a really cool car. Now, our second car is a 2019 Mazda M3. And this is a pretty clean casting, not a lot of fancy tampos on the side or the hood or the roof or anything like that. We've got the tampos in the front for the headlights and the grille, and of course the Mazda logo. And then on the rear, we've got the Mazda logo and tail lights, and it says Mazda M3. The tampos aren't 100% crisp around the edges. And kind of the same thing on that too. And I've seen this with other tampos on the hood. And I think it's because this hood is it's not smooth, so I think it's how the tempo ends up going on that. But as long as you're not like pulling it really close to look like that, it's actually not bad looking. I'm pretty satisfied with it. I like this casting. Next up, we have got a Subaru Impreza police car, and this is a Japanese police car. This is done in white. Now, this car is not a true 1/64 scale. This is actually a 1/61st scale. I think it looks pretty good, and I like the rims with it. If you know what that says in Japanese, let me know. And then kind of a fun fact, number 58 on here. It's got a special meaning to it. It's kind of like an Easter egg. If you know what that stands for, let me know in the comments below. Next in this pink is a 2008 Honda Civic Type R. And I'm not sure if this is like hot pink or what it is, but I really like it. I think it looks cool on it. And the car's got good detail, especially here on the front. And these tampos are actually way more crisp around the edges than the other car was. This car was originally produced from 2008 to 2012 and then was discontinued. And then a retooled version came out in 2022, and that's what this is a retooled version. They did a little bit different so they could continue to produce it, but it did lose a little bit of detail here in the back. So when it was retooled, this used to have a window, like a plastic window here, but now it is just a sticker. It would look a lot better if it was still the window, but I understand they had to do it in order to be able to continue to produce the car. Now this is a right-hand drive vehicle, and kind of weird enough, this is actually in the MBX Japan Cruisers 5-pack, but this car was never actually sold in Japan. This was only sold in Europe, and it may get imported to Japan, and it was kind of a popular import, but it was never actually sold in dealerships in Japan. All right, the last car is a 1971 Nissan Skyline 2000 GTX, and this is in light blue. And this is a really cool car. My only complaint about this car, I'm not a big fan of the cars that's got like the blacked out windows with no interior. That aggravates me a little bit. I would really rather them do an interior, but I understand sometimes they have to do that for cost. This car actually has an interior, but the windows are tinted black, so it's really hard to see the interior, but it does actually have an interior in there. It's a nice detailed car, and I do like the blue. I'm not the biggest fan of the rims. I think they could have done a different rim, but I don't know, it looks okay. I'm not like dissatisfied with it as far as that goes. Anyway, the cool thing about this car, it's got two interiors. It's got the standard interior, but it's also got it's kind of a racing interior. So on the driver's seat, it has a racing harness. So yeah, there's a racing harness in the driver's seat. But that's not the weird thing about this car. So this car has no opening parts. You know, you can't open the doors, you can't open the trunk, you can't open the hood. But underneath this hood is actually a motor. And not only that, there's two different versions of the motor. So the cars that's got the standard interior will have a standard motor. The cars that have the racing interior will actually have a racing motor. It is a turbo engine. So I think that's kind of odd that you've got this car that you can't even open the hood on, but yet they took the time to put a motor under that hood. So anyway, I've got a picture, if you look there on the corner of the screen, that will show that motor. But just kind of a fun fact with the car. For this pack, it's hard for me to actually pick out my favorite. I really like this Toyota 4Runner. I think it's really cool. I definitely like this caramel color. I think it's pretty awesome looking. So definitely like this one. I like the hot pink on this thing. Yeah, so I really do like this too. And then I like this. It's a cool casting, but I just really like kind of the fact about the hidden away motor inside this thing. I think that's pretty awesome too. So I guess if I had to pick an absolute favorite, it would be the 4Runner. What's your favorite? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. If you haven't already, please consider liking and subscribing, and I'll see you in the next video.